The boy DeMarco, aka Mr. Good at It. Dayton, Ohio, born and bred, residing in Atlanta, Georgia. I just want to touch on the violence that's been going on here lately around the country with the police officers and young black men. You know, we all got to have a voice out here for things to change, and I feel like, as far as at least in my city, I've earned the respect to be able to make some comments, and hopefully, they might be able to change a few people's outlook on things, and I'm working on it down here too. And it's, we building. So, first, I just want to say, I think the number one thing we have to understand as a black people is that half of the guys behind that badge, they ain't from where we from. They don't come from where we come from. They come from a completely different place, so they can only go off of what they see and hear on TV, music, dudes before them that worked at the precinct. And let's be honest, we ain't made it easy for ourselves in situations. I mean, from really the Ice-T joint back in the days, to the NWA after police, to the Tupac era, all the way through, we have been very, very defiant and rebellious towards the law. And for good reason, a lot, because it's a lot of us that's really just law-abiding citizens that do what we supposed to do, but because we look a certain kind of way, and we hang around a certain kind of people, regardless of whether we doing something illegal or not. We being stereotyped and typecasted. But my thing is this. End of the day, what we got to understand is this. Authority is authority no matter who you are. You can say F the police. You can throw rocks at them. You can spit at them. You can run from them. You can punch one. Whatever you do, you're gonna go to jail or you're gonna die 9 times out of 10 when you oppose them. There ain't nothing we can do. Because I was in the streets and I did the things I did, I had that same mentality, and I kind of put it in my daughter's head, like, I don't like the police, and don't let, and kind of like tried to brainwash her into not liking the police because of my personal experiences. When in actuality, it is really actual good cops out there. It's just they being overshadowed by the foul ones that have been doing the things that have been going on here recently around the country. So it's kind of like the positive is always overshadowed by the negative. So what we got to understand as a black people is that if you young and you look like a rapper that's saying F the police or whatever the case may be, or somebody that they seen on TV or heard about getting into a fight at the club, whatever, you got to understand they already have a outlook on us before they pull up. They're already expecting us to do something ignorant or foul or unruly. So they are already on the defense. And being black men, we know about being on the defense. Whether you in the streets or not, you know how it is when you're in a situation where you're going into it feeling like you're going to have to do something. So when you put this white man in a situation where he feels defensive and he has a pistol on him and he knows that badge is there, do you really think he cares about pulling that gun out and shooting? When he can always go back and say, oh yeah, I got this call to come down to this club and that club because they was fighting and shooting outside. I got this call because over in the, in this project, it was a shoot and they out there hustling, whoop-de-whoop. All these negative connotations that we've put on ourselves, they're going into it looking at it a certain kind of way. So with that being said, they are going to shoot first and ask questions later, or they're going to take you to jail. One or the other. There's no way around it. So we have to understand, tell these young black men, kids, 15, 16, 13, because it's got to be frightening if you a single mama or, you feel me, and you got 2 or 3 little boys that's about to be out here in school and walking to the corner store and all that, to just know anything can happen any day. Just let them know. If them police ask them a question, throw them hands up off top. I ain't did nothing, officer. Whatever you need me to do. If you got to look like a sucker for a few minutes, oh well. Looking like a sucker is a lot better than being 6 feet under or in the precinct over something you ain't even do, because they'll lock you up just for just talking to them crazy. But we got to understand that, and to understand also, this is the biggest thing. When you hear people on records saying whatever they saying about the police and being rebellious, it's understandable. We all got freedom of speech and all of that. And I'm 100% with saying what's on your mind when necessary in the right situation. But most of them guys got $1 million in the bank. Most of them guys got bail money on deck. They got a lawyer on deck. So anything that happens to them, they know they're getting right back out of jail, or they know for the most part, they got a little couple horses behind them if it come down to it. If you ain't that dude and you ain't got that check in the bank, you ain't gonna have it that easy. So before you want to run your mouth and say this back to him and that back to him and act all tough, you ain't got, at the end of the day, bro, it's all about, I think as black men, it's a mo tough guy. Ain't nobody over me, authority type of thing. We all got that complex. I got it myself, to be honest. I really do. I don't want nobody telling me what to do. I feel like I'm a boss within myself. So I get that. But at the same time, them police are going to always win every single time unless you got a long checkbook. So for you young kids listening to this, man, just do what they tell you to do. From this point on, just do what they tell you to do. Let's make it as hard as it could possibly be for them to point the finger at us and say, it's because you did this, or your people usually do this, or y'all usually do that. We got to understand that we are a target. We've been a target for years. So we can't make it easy for them by being defiant and offensive towards them when we know, and we watching it. Let's be honest. We watching it, man. Our record ain't looking too good against these police officers. How many officers are really being convicted? The ones that's really being convicted were not police officers. The one dude down in Florida shooting the boy in the car, yeah, he got it. The girl in Michigan, it's a couple that were convicted, but they weren't police officers. There's very few where the police officer is actually being convicted. 9 times out of 10, he walking. So that lets us know, lay down, do whatever you got to do to get out of that situation and keep your life. We need, it's already enough. We having enough issues with each other out here in these streets. We do not need to continue to put ourselves in situations where these police officers feel like it's our lives or theirs. Don't put them in that situation. Whatever they need for you to do, just do it, man. Just do it. I've been there. Trust me, I've been there, and it was hard. But your life, man, we got to understand it's way more than being tough for a few minutes. You know what I'm saying? And when they get them calls about us fighting in the clubs and wilding out and putting our hands on the chicks and all of that, that already puts them on the defense as soon as they pull up. So we got to stop it and understand this is what's making them act this way. We got to take some accountability on our own of what we are doing. Now, once we do that, then we can say, you know what? We got a real case for real. But just want to holler at y'all for a minute. Check out Baby Girl. She coming out. Skylar Diggins video on the way. Polish Money. Pull her up. Jayla. Swagging. IG. YouTube. Let's get to it. Holler at y'all later.